Hello and welcome back to another episode of Robinson Raceway, and today we're going to be sizing up just what space I've got to build the raceway.
Racing fire, hear the thunder roll.
Now the space I've got is a garden shed and it's a rectangle, but the door is at one side rather than the centre, and I'm hoping to be able to get the raceway to go the entire way around all of the perimeter of the shed, so past the door. This is going to require the use of an insert and removable bridge, which I've already worked out the electronics to do that. It just requires essentially a continuity piece that I can build very easily. The problem is going to be whether I can fit what's actually in my head into the shed itself. So we're going to go out and measure it, and then I'm going to use some software that I found online to design the track. So this is the space I've got. At the moment, it's quite messy. However, it should work out quite nicely for us once all of this is tidied up. This is the Four Seasons, one of Jenny's model railways that she built for a TV show, Hornby Model World. It's got a little bit of, I think that's foam on it, that's fallen off from up above with the insulation. It's got a lot of work that still needs to be done, but I think it'll work out quite nicely. As you can see, there's a long way down to the other end of here, so we could get a really nice long straight. So I've managed to link this onto the back. You can just see it just about there. That's linked onto the wood at the back of the thing. So if I just bring this right down to the end, the other end of the shed, it should give me the approximate size that I need. Let's do this. Approximate size. So 7'9" plus 3'11". It's very inaccurate, but we'll get there. So it's about 5'7". Let's get back in and put this into the little diagram I've got, and then we're going to boot up a computer program that I found online, which seems very, very good for plotting Scalextric track. And let's see what we've got and what we can do with it. So once I've looked at the course on the application, it doesn't look like I've got a huge amount of space to play with. If I was using micro Scalextric, we could have amazing stuff, but we're not. We're using 1:32 scale, and of course that takes up a lot more space for its track. So what I'm going to have to do is work on not just a round layout, which it comes out and it looks all right. What I'm going to have to do is work on verticality as well. I'm going to have to think about whether I can make a track go up and then round and come back down and spiral back on itself and things like that. That is something I can't model on this application, but it's given me an idea. So the plan now, instead of just making a big long line for straight so we can do some overtaking and things once I get the digital track and the overtaking and all of that, what I'm going to have to do is consider, right, can I take a little bit from, say, Monaco with that tunnel that they have on the Monaco F1 track where there's not a lot of overtaking going on, but it's very visually interesting, and it goes underneath something like a town scene where you'd race through a town. An area might have a lot of decoration around it for a rallycross section, stuff like that. Visual interest to build up the story of the track and work on it from that point of view. And I think we might be able to get some hairpins in order to do that. So we've got hairpin turns and coming down track and then going up and things like that. If I can make verticality part of this, we could make something very interesting, very playable, and things like that. So we're going to have to work on that, something that I can't do on this application, but which I can do if I just get out there and start modeling it. So let's try that as an upcoming project. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and that it's given you some ideas of what you could potentially do in limited space like a garden shed or something like that. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching Robinson Raceway. Take care, happy racing, bye for now. I'd like to give a big shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Without you guys, I really couldn't continue making all of these shows. And if you'd like to join our fantastic Patreon heroes here, go over to patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. It really does help us out. Thank you so much, guys.